But yeah, versus you, I did not go to a fancy theater. We just rented a movie on demand at home with our sectional and pop, boom, chicka pop, you know?
Boom,
We
chicka
didn't have
pop.
any fancy drinks. We just had to pull whatever's in our fridge for free ish because we had to pay for it. Anyway, but we rented Nobody because my brother and my dad really wanted to watch it for Father's Day, but it was still $25. You can only buy it for $25, and then literally they're like 2 days later it's gonna be $4 to rent. So we're like, what? Let's do that. That seems more reasonable. A quick premise, I guess, for anyone who hasn't seen the movie. It's about this guy. He just looks like an average dude. He has a family, and he lives a very mundane life until someone robs his home. And everyone's like, yeah, if it was me, I would have beat the shit out of those robbers and blah, blah, blah. And then you kind of see in the trailer that he, like, seems to have either been, like, he's just, maybe just from mundane life, he's just strained and he breaks and he starts beating the shit out of people. And you're like, wow, so cool. And I'm not gonna lie, from the trailer, I was actually really interested. Because it was a very long trailer, so
Yep.
the first part I was like, this seems kind of boring. But then they got to the robbery stuff, and then the people were like, yeah, if it was me. And then you like see this man kind of like break, and you're like, oh, okay, this could be kind of cool. Was not the same feelings when I watched the film.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if it's a bad. I don't know if you have the same feelings, but when I see a movie's only an hour and a half now, I'm always like, ooh, like immediately concerned.
Really?
That's not true. I think for all films, like animated films, like do great, but I don't know. I see that hour and a half mark now, and I'm like, did you could you have more time? Could you have done, more? I don't know. It's a weird. It's not really a red flag or anything. It's just I don't know. I get this weird thing now. I'm like,
I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like when you chalk up most movies that are 2 hours long, it's because majority of the time, at least I want to say an hour of that is like all action sequence. So,
I'd say okay with me. I'll take action. That's fine.
Yeah.
But this movie didn't really need more action. I think they needed more stuff in between Z's, I think was my problem with the film. All the action was very well. It's very gory. If you're into that kind of shit, I think it tickles your itch for that, I think. I think I was just annoyed because again, like I said in the trailer, I liked it because it was like this long pace of this guy living his life, and that entire section of the movie was like a 3-minute highlight reel with the ugliest text I've seen. I think I just call it ugly because it just reminds me of like when I have to go into Premiere Pro and I'm like, I need text, cool. Like it just looked like zero effort was put into the text.
Oh no.
Like, okay. And so for me, it took away like this whole thing from the trailer where it was like, oh, he's living this mundane life because it was just like, I don't know, it was just like really flashy and just like very clippy. And again, highlighty reel, and I'm like, I don't feel the same way now, And again, maybe this is just a me problem. Like I said, my dad and my brother loved it. I don't know. I didn't care for that. I wish that was stretched out and made you actually feel it.
Yeah.
And then again, we hit the robber scene, blah, blah, blah. He supposedly, because there's this scene where like he could have knocked out one of the robbers. So it's like this big deal. It's like, oh, why didn't Dad take him out? Man, Dad sucks. But it turns out he was not a debt collector. He had some role basically where it was like, I kill people. I'm the last person you want to see kind of deal or whatever. But his kid apparently is missing her kitty cat bracelet, so he assumes that the robbers took it, so he tracks down the robbers. It's this whole thing. And he's beating the shit out of them, and then realizes that they have a kid who's like on like a has respiratory problems of some kind.
Oh, okay.
So then he like leaves them and then punches the wall, I guess, because he doesn't want to beat them up now, I guess, because he realizes they were just kind of stealing out of necessity.
Yeah.
Which he kind of was weird. He made that assumption before, because the whole scene where he didn't like knock out this girl is because he noticed the gun she was using had 0 bullets in it. So I think he was just like, these guys are just chumps, whatever. So that to me was really weird. And then he has his breaking point on the bus where he just kills. To be fair, they were these shithead drunk guys. So like, that's fine. But then I had a hard time rooting for this guy because I was just like, so you got angry, so now you beat up these guys.
Mhm.
And again, because one of them has ties to the Russian mob, he pisses off the Russian mob and he starts killing them.
Holy shit.
Right, but again, it's because he decided to lash out for no reason.
Yeah.
In my opinion, anyway. So I had a hard time giving a shit about anything. And he has this weird line where he's like, you came after my family. I was like, yeah, but you just killed a bunch of guys on a bus.
Yeah.
Like again, it was hard. And I think the problem is, I don't know, have you ever watched The Equalizer?
Kinda. I've like
Kinda?
seen it. It's been like my dad's watched it on TV and I've like been kinda in and out watching it.
Okay. My brother and dad kept comparing this movie to kind of like the John Wick. And again, I haven't seen John Wick, but I've seen Equalizer.
Okay, yeah, it made me kind of think of like there is a movie I watched last year or a year ago, sometime in the last couple of years with Bruce Willis called Death Wish, which has kind of the similar like concept. Where,
oh, right, yeah.
His family gets murdered, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, and so he goes after them and he becomes like a vigilante.
Yeah, and the daughter's like on life support or something.
Yeah.
So what I find with those films and why this like whole killing spree works is because you feel for the characters. Again, Vin Diesel was again like some sort of ex-com guy who was trying to live a normal life, but then I think, there was some girl that he was protecting or had become friends with and gets mixed up and her and her friends get murdered or something. So then like every intention he does towards that is to hurt the people who did that. Yes. And then, like he gets slammed on. And again, same with John Wick. I haven't seen it, but the whole big thing with John Wick is that, oh, you killed my dog, I kill you. Yeah, exactly. Which is weird, but then, again, I haven't seen it, but I know the whole reveal, I guess, at the end is that the dog was a gift from his dead wife. Yes. So again, these characters are doing it, and again, you could argue maybe it's not heroic, or kind of like heroic, but to me at least there's a purpose. Whereas with this, to me, there wasn't a purpose, and then at some points he was pretending like there was a purpose, and I was like, but there's not? Like, I don't know. I don't think the film justified it, in my mind.
Because I remember seeing a couple trailers for it, and it almost made it seem like it was an action comedy. Was it comedic?
For nobody?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say. Like, the parts I laughed at, I don't think I was supposed to laugh at. Like, there's this whole scene with motherfucking Christopher Lloyd, because I guess he was also like, again, I don't know if it's a family business, but they kill people, and he kills these two guys with shotguns, and then there's a scene where they're running around the warehouse and he's just fucking killing people with shotguns. And I don't think it was supposed to be funny, but it's just Christopher Lloyd like killing people with shotguns. Yeah, you know? Just this old timer.
Yeah, because the trailer definitely made it seem like it was going to be some kind of a dark comedy almost in a way. So, yeah.
I guess there was kind of funny parts, but I don't feel like that was the main focus of the film.
Interesting.
And maybe that was also the issue I had. There was no real theme. Like, I guess the theme was like he was trying to live this normal life, but it wasn't working out until he started killing again. He's like, yes, this is what I do. It reminded me of that analogy one of our teachers used in school for the Driver movie with Ryan Gosling, where it was like that whole story with the scorpion and the frog, where it's like, this is what I do. I just sting people. It's like, but now we're both going to drown. It's in my nature. Which I realized, well, I didn't like Driver because I was like, that's stupid. Like, why? So yeah, I just didn't feel like there was a focal point. Like, I don't know. Again, if you just want to watch it for mindless action, it's got some good scenes in it. Like I said, Christopher Lloyd running around shooting people with shotguns. Yeah. There's this one scene where a guy with a sniper rifle kills 3 guys with 1 bullet. Yeah. Great. I mean, some of the action definitely bordered on, like, there was this one part where I was like, hey, we need to get Mythbusters in on this one, because I'm going to call bullshit. I was like, what the fuck?
There's definitely been times where I've thought that, too, during movies. I'm like, I wonder if the Mythbusters will ever cover this.
They've covered some, so, like, I feel like we need to bring them back. Get to work.
I will gladly, bring back the Mythbusters. I will gladly watch them again.
But yeah, I think that was my problem. Like, I couldn't root for the main guy because, like I said, I also, I guess, was mad because, like I said, that beginning sequence hurt me because I thought it was stupid. The text was awful. I didn't like the flashy clips of it. There was also, like, 2 times where they were trying to use voiceover. And again, I know there's, like, this whole thing, like, it's, It's like, I know it has a bad connotation to it because it's like, oh, it's like a crutch. You're kind of cheating in a way, you know. But I mean, my argument would be, I think Dexter uses a shit ton of voiceover, but that makes sense.
Yes.
Right?
It
Because
works, yeah.
Dexter has his facade during the day as a average guy in society, and kind of like the voiceover is almost like his dark passenger, or at least what he truly feels. Exactly, so that's where it works. Where in this
his
film
inner
they
monologue that nobody else really gets to hear.
Yeah, except for the audience. And whereas this, they used it twice for, I guess, that kind of purpose, but not really.
Yeah.
So again, if I were doing the film, I would have cut those lines out because it made zero sense if you're not going to continue with that theme. I would have had a stronger theme of something. I don't know what.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would change that beginning part because it pissed me off. But yeah, highlights, like I said, if you want like gory action, it does a good enough job for that. Just don't focus on whatever else is happening. Like me, it bothered me. Christopher Lloyd running around with shotguns killing people, that was great. And the third part, oh my god. So there's this scene where they're trying to look up research on this guy.
Yeah.
And this Russian girl goes, oh, I have a friend at the Pentagon, aka there's a guy she blackmails into giving her information. But they show the guy, and I was like, fuck, where have I seen you from? And he's going around the scene, he's trying to do research, find the guy, and I'm just sitting there, I was like,
that's basically how I spend majority of movies, is where have I seen this guy from? Yeah.
And then my brother goes, is that the Dean from Community? I was like, oh my god, no, it's the doppelganger from Community. So that made it even better. I was like, oh my god, I was like, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I thought he looked like fucking Jim, but I was like, it's not him, and that was the doppelganger. Oh my god. So that's again, it's weird when the highlights are remembering the doppelganger, you know, from Community, thinking of a better storyline than what I'm watching, and Christopher Lloyd shooting people with guns or shotguns, you know?
Yeah. Wow.
Like I said, I'm glad we waited to rent it for $4.
Yeah, no kidding.
Maybe if you could get it for free on a streaming service, sure. Watch it for gory action if that's what you want. But like I said, maybe I'm just a stubborn person. Because immediately when I said there's better movies, and again, in my mind, The Equalizer, much better, I was insulted. And then everyone was like, well, you like Hallmark films. And I was like, I don't see how that has anything to do with the current situation, but sure. Cool.
You watch CSI, you watch Dexter, what the hell?
Apparently, if I have one critique about a movie they like, it's over. It is, Caleigh, you watch Hallmark movies, you're never making it in the industry.
Oh boy, everybody's got their opinions.
I think somebody was a little too touchy.
Ah.
To be fair, maybe I could have explained my point better, but usually, again, I want to absorb the info, and then, I mean, I was thinking about it all last night, and condensing my thoughts for today, so
right.
I feel if I explained it like that, maybe it would have been better, but yeah, it was just, I don't know, really funny to me. It was just like, I was like, I think there, and I honestly do, I think there's better. Otherwise, I think my mom put it perfectly. This film is basically a weird revenge porn.
Yeah.
Not a very good one, mind you, but it is. It's a weird revenge porn.
Yep. Which honestly you could categorize like The Equalizer and Death Wish being of that nature too, because
same with John Wick, yeah.
Yeah, and well, I was just even thinking too, like Arrow in the beginning is very much that type of a thing too. And side note too, just because we were talking about the whole Dexter voiceover thing, I never realized until I went back and rewatched it again that the first, like, I think either throughout the first full season or at least the first few episodes of the first season of Arrow, he does a very similar kind of like inner monologue voiceover like Dexter. But yeah, so I guess you could categorize Arrow as that point too, because sometimes people just love being able to see someone take down the bad guy when you can't in real life, and there's just all these injustices in the world, so when it's nice to be able to root for someone who's standing up for the, you know, the underdog kind of thing, right? And
then you can bring up storylines of like should you be able to do, right? Because that's always, I mean, I love Batman, but he's also vigilante, so then obviously the question is, should you allow somebody who's not, you know, governed by any rules or law to be doing that kind of stuff, you know? And it does bring up really cool and interesting storylines and, like, what it means to do, like, be human and all this stuff. But this movie
that's how The Purge came to be.
Right? But this movie had none of those things. So, like I said, I still defend my point I made last night to them, but was very insulted that I was immediately shut down. But I just think there are just better movies in this genre.
Well, I agree.
Why, thank you.
Sometimes people don't understand.
I know. Like I said, maybe my point, now that I can articulate my point, I think it's a lot better, but at the time, so whatever.
Yeah.
It's as it is.
Yep.
But yeah, that's my thoughts on that.
Just tell your family to come and rewatch this episode. So then
I'm like, hey, I mentioned doing our podcast. Watch it. That's for you. That's for you. That will do it for today. I hope you enjoyed everything we talked about. Obviously, there are those wonderful comments down below. You could let us know. You can also give us one of those sexy thumbs up. And it'd be even better if you subscribed for more of this weird-ass content we produce. But yeah, until next time, have a happy Tuesday. Watch all the content, and we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Monkey.
Monkey.